Good day for everyone, and today is the day for the third episode of my blog, and in this episode I'm going to talk about the engine and hold the story how it went. From the very beginning I knew that it's definitely going to be VR6 engine, just not sure whether it's 12 valve or 24 valve version because both were available at that time. While I was working on the body restoration, at the same time I already been looking for an engine swap, and for really good price I got 24 valve version initially, but eventually I ended that I didn't use that engine I got. I just sold, regardless it was low on kilometers, it was clean inside and outside. It was really a nice swap, but somehow I convinced myself that I'm more leaning towards 12 valve version, and there were a couple of reasons for that. First one is that at the time I got that engine, it was really easily obtainable that day, which fun fact is not applicable to these days anymore. 12 valve versions are quite obsolete these days, but the past was different than it's now, and another reason is purely physical one. I thought that 12 valve version is more compact. It sits way nicer in the shell of Golf second generation, and another reason, which is, I don't know how to explain, but for me 12 valve sound is way better. It sounds, I mean, really the sound is really distinguishing in comparison to 24 valve version. Here I'm not saying that 24 valve sounds bad, but I'm leaning more towards 12 valve version, and that's probably the last reason. And if this project is the project, I allow myself sometimes to do not the best decisions, if I can say so, and that was one of those. If we go fact by fact, probably 24 valve would be a better choice, but I went 12 valve, and I guess we can't argue here because it's basically love or hate, and that's some how to say history, how it went. Now let's move maybe to the engine itself and let's check what's there. So let me open the engine compartment, and let's see what we have here. So here it is. That's the 12 valve engine I got here. So I'm going to talk about it in a couple of episodes, if I can say so. First one is the internal and the things you probably don't see here. So I mean, in engine internals. Engine internals are absolutely stock. Honestly, I didn't do anything for them. By saying didn't do anything, I mean that there are no performance related mods. Only what I did is I just did some service for it and the cleaning inside, outside, and that's basically it. That engine restoration, so to say, it had basically I just dismantled that engine once I took it out from the donor car, which by the way I drove for half of the year, and it was run and it was running perfectly and fine, all well good, except the completely rusted body of that car, but the engine itself, it ran smooth, it had good compression, maybe a little bit of oil burn, but besides that it had absolutely no issues. So I took that engine out, I have dismantled it, and my aim was to check what's left out of it, because that's an old engine. It ran for decades, probably without any of the service. And once I separated that engine, I mean, ahead from the block. I started from the bottom end. I inspected crankshaft bearings and rod bearings as well. Those are absolutely, I don't know, like new. Those were perfect matte finish and no damage, nothing at all. Then I completely teared apart that bottom end and just cleaned everything and put it back. Also, I cleaned the piston rings. I even didn't replace those. I just cleaned them, and because the roundness of cylinders was not that perfect, so I didn't want to use new piston rings in the, so to say, not perfect engine block. And engine head, I just took it for the engine workshop to my friends, and he did inspection of it. I know that he replaced 2 or 3 valves, valve stem guides, and that was it. And talking about it, the whole purpose was just to have engine, so to say, in the perfect stock form, clean inside outside, and that's it. Oh, by the way, I also painted the block, and while putting it back, I used a metal head gasket instead of that composite version, as you probably know that thing. Also just painted chain covers, resealed everything, put new valve cover and sump gaskets, and also I have used USDM version for valve cover, which I like more than European version. So yeah, basically all the effort went looking for very simple purpose, just to have clean engine inside outside, and I wanted to be sure that it will last some time and it will be running fine. So yeah, that's the part for the internal engine internals. As I said, it's absolutely stock. It's have stock valve sizing, stock cams. It has no head porting, nothing. Stock compression rate, stock all around. As you probably saw already when I was talking about engine internals, now I'm going to talk about the things existing externally on the engine, and as you can see from that closer look, nothing is that stock anymore. So maybe I'll begin from air intake system, which is not there anymore. Turbo charging has intake here, so there's no piping, just will have that mushroom filter, which will I fit just straight on the turbocharger. All of the charge pipes are there. I have fabricated them. It's 2.25 inch in diameter, I guess, or 60 millimeters, something around that. I built all of them by myself, welded everything with TIG system. Another thing is the intake manifold. That one is also not stock. It's some, I don't know, Chinese unit. It's even has no name, no brand, but it's really compact and it sits here nicely. The only issue was that intake had really poor port matching to head, and that's required some effort to make those match. Another thing is fueling. The fueling here, as you can see, there is a CTS fuel rail, which under it it has 6 injectors, each of them being 1200 cc. I suspect those could be too much even for a E85. Also, that's the the thing I'm going to reconsider probably in the nearest future when I'm going to start that engine and someday map it. The lines of fuel here you can see is the rubber lines, which are compatible with E85. Each hose has external so to say sheeting, or how we call it. So basically it adds some additional mechanical resistance. Fuel feed line is AN8. Everything is fitted, as you can see, in AN system. Fuel return line is AN6, and fuel pressure regulator, it's a turbo smart piece. I don't remember exactly the model, but it's a quite decent thing, I think. And it also has VR6 24 valve throttle body. It's absolutely stock. And then I think we can move on to exhaust side, which is also absolutely non-stock. I'll maybe pick my camera so you could better see it. So here is ATP replica. I'm talking about exhaust manifold. So this is AliExpress version 2, but I know those are quite decent things. The port matching is also pretty good. So it also, by the way, had some porting, or you can say the port matching, so it sits really perfectly. The wastegate, it's an old Turbo Smart 38 millimeter. I also don't remember the model. The turbocharger. The turbocharger is some Chinese version as well. It's in parameters looks something like in the region of Holset HX35 or something like this. I don't remember the exact inducer-exducer ratio, but it has it. And downpipe, I haven't fabricated it yet. It's just a mock-up, as you can see. I don't know if I'm going to do it by myself, even though I have all of the tools and equipment needed to fabricate it, but sadly no time, so I'll probably pass it for someone who is better at this. And the cooling, oh, by the way, I forgot ignition system. So those 6 things you see here, these are proven Polo 1.8 turbo units. That's not the red ones, that's the black ones, which physically means that they are shorter versions. I don't like those so-called R8 coil and plug system because it sticks out really much somewhere here. So that's not the best looking thing, but internally and parameter wise it's the same unit as those red one R8 units. And another thing is the cooling. The cooling was a really demanding part here. It's because of how tight this piece is. And so yeah, it was really challenging, and I'll go piece by piece and show you what it consists of and where the challenges were. And the challenges came because I had the wish to save outer looks of that car. I mean, for a frontal part. I didn't want to ruin all the looks at any price. So that's basically the reason where all of the challenges came from. So I'll talk about those bit by bit, and that's basically is going to be the part on cooling, entire cooling system, whether it's intercooling, charger cooling, whatever you call it, for the coolant liquid system and things like this. So to start from the front grille, it's absolutely stock. I mean, it's everything here is loosened, so I can remove it. I squeezed intercooler and coolant radiator into that very narrow frontal part. So basically I saved that grill, nothing changed outside, but inside there are some, how to say, some modifications made so I could accommodate intercooler. So now the cooling pieces one by one. So that intercooler is some Chinese version. I don't know, I really like Chinese products, so don't laugh at it. So I fitted that intercooler. It doesn't interfere with the bumper internal, those metal parts, those remain absolutely untouched. So I squeezed here that intercooler. It has 2.5 inch inlet and outlet. And another challenge was that that so-called slam panel. And the problem here is that this part is, even in stock form, it's quite weak one. It's wobbling all the time. And I thought, why not to use that really stiff and rigid intercooler frame as a reinforcing part. That's what I did. But to squeeze everything here and to put the way you see, it took for me, I don't know, 60 to 70 hours. That's a really stupid number, I think, today, but that's basically how it went. But I managed to make that intercooler as something, as an integral part for that slam panel by fitting it in between of that panel and lower cross member, or how we call that part. So basically, once the bolts here and two bolts below are bolted in, everything becomes really rigid and sits nicely, and all the structure is really stiff. Now if I remove that slam panel, as I said, it's all loosened, so it comes off really easily. That's also one of the things I considered. I wanted to have all of the pieces that way so I could remove them easily, because that frontal part, it's really crammed, and if you want to get some access to engine, you won't get that easy. So in this case, it's easier to remove that slam panel and the front grille, and here you are. That's everything in the reach of your hand. So the intercooler part, I already talked a bit about it. So this also can be removed, I think. Let me try. It's really tight. Give me a second. Damn it. So let's maybe try from our side. Yeah, that's how easy it comes. Here it is. Everything is welded here as well by myself, my handcraft, so to say. I'll put it aside, and another layer is, it's a coolant radiator. That thing is something what came from Passat B4. I mean, dimensions wise. So here it sits on that same standard cross member, and it also can be removed easily. But before I remove, I also want to talk a bit about the custom shrouding I made for it and fitted on this radiator. Because of that cramped space, I was unable to use OE fans. Instead of OE fans, I went with double spal fans. One is 9-inch in the diameter, another one is, I guess, 11-inch. So it also can be removed quite easily. So here it is. Oh, by the way, you can see here is the horn. Due to intercooler fitted, it lost its original location. So I went for this with this solution. Now it sits a bit lower. And here is that shroud I just mentioned. So basically, it's aluminum piece. I cut it all by myself, welded and so on, and fitted those fans in place. So let me put that one aside as well. And what else? Oh, by the way, here is the access to engine. You can work on it easily. You can reach anything you would like. So yeah, it's basically it. One more thing I didn't mention is the oil cooling. I went with a 12-row Mokal unit. I fitted next to the gearbox. So here it is. Let's maybe bring some light. So that's how it looks, frontal part of the engine. Here you can see the block painted all clean and nice. Here is the oil cooler. That's how it got its place. So basically it doesn't have that much of ambient airflow, but the most important part, as I know from theory, that even it exists somewhere, it already brings lots of benefit in oil cooling, because those engines are not the pieces running that cold. So I think why not to have it. Another thing which came from for 24 valve version, it's that external plasticky coolant flange which accommodates thermostat. So basically that's the thermostat housing. And since I'm having here 02M gearbox from Mark 4 VR6 24 valve, it was interfering a little bit over there, because the flanges on 12 valve they have a little bit different orientation, and that's what caused interference. So that's not the case here anymore of that 24 valve unit I fitted. So what else? There are also some miscellaneous things I might have not mentioned. So one of them being turbo solenoid. It's fitted here using that old VR6 flange. It also will accommodate this secondary coolant pump, which originally was there. By the way, one of the reasons I went with USDM valve cover version is that it has output over there. So basically that's going to be the place I will fit so-called old catch tank. So it will sit somewhere here. So I think it will complement here nicely and cover those exhaust, not exhaust, but coolant hoses. By the way, coolant hoses are stock ones, and they are going to interior heater. It remains absolutely stock. I will have heating in this car, because why not? And what else? Alternator is the smallest version I could found. It's from VR6 2.8 OBD1 version, I think. All filter housing also remains a stock one. So yeah, even though I started to talk about cooling, but also I thought there are some other parts worth to mention, and basically that's it. I won't take any more time from you. I just basically try to conclude all of my effort, and in general my whole purpose was to stay cost effective. I didn't mention it at all during this video, but the price is, I mean, the total price is also how to say, it's a really important thing, and it was deciding factor here. And besides that, I burned quite some hours for everything. I could do it quicker and faster, but also I had some other considerations, something like, for example, the front dismantling I show you and how easy it is to access. So it's a bit of investment in the future. I think that the engine in the future will require access multiple times, because that's how tuning life looks like. And so I already invested into that. Also, another thing to consider is the safety. Here I will mention the fueling system. I ran and I have routed all of the feed and return hoses under the car. There are nothing related to fuel and the things at the same time running through the interior. I don't know, personally I have some paranoia in regards of that, so I'm not a huge fan of having liquids running through the cabin, so that's why I put it everything underneath the car. All the fueling, all the systems, pumps, everything sits outside interior. So yeah, as promised, you won't take that more time from you. I think that's it. I'm already working on another episode, which is going to be, spoiler alert, about the gearbox and the transmission. I just said a couple of words about it, but in this project, since it's a 4Motion unit, there is lots of things to mention, because in that department there was some challenges as well, and nothing fitted there that easily. So that's it. I have no asks. Don't subscribe to my channel. Okay, jokes aside, you can ask any comments, questions, whatever you like. That's why there is a comment section. And for now, thank you for attention and take care. See you.